Hey there everybody, it's Caden, and this is Project S.O.S. Update 5. Now, a couple of the things on the update I wasn't able to make my promises on. For example, the head bobbing, I actually decided I didn't like head bobbing, and so I removed it. Similarly, the ropes plugin, which I was going to add in there, but now I do realize that the plugin costs about $80. So I'm going to wait until I get some of my extraneous functions done that work with the rope plugin before I actually install that rope plugin. So I'm not going to make that investment until I have the materials necessary. That being said, that would only leave one thing for Update 5, but I did actually do an extra thing, and I'll tell you about that shortly. And the one thing being this, the vent door is now changed. So instead of having the vent dead end being the vent door, this is now the vent door. Now you may have noticed something here. So if you remember in the last update, there was all these triggers all over the place, and you know how the triggers aren't there anymore? Well, that's because now all models like this don't have triggers anymore. All the triggers are on the player. This is the new thing that I was telling you about. So the player has a long trigger that is on his face. That's only about, say, it's about as big as the camera. It's about 1.25 the size of the length of the player. And it allows for the player to pick up certain objects with certain collision and throw them. I actually made 5 different collision streams for all these different types of triggers and things. Ooh. Thank you. That still does happen when you step on certain objects, and I kind of want to make sure that stops in time. Now, there was an issue with these, with everything before. And that issue was that, and it mainly happened here, is when they clicked on the door here, trying to open the door. You know how it keeps saying the door is locked? Well, they would be locked in place because it would actually be interacting with this and that at the same time, because the triggers would be facing way out. Well, I fixed all that now. Now the trigger is the exact size of the model, and only interacts with the player's face node. On top of that, it also interacts only with the first object that it touches. And here's what I mean. This is the first object that my trigger is touching, and that is the second right there. You see that? Well, it's only going to go to the ladder. And the reason why I made this this stream of whatever it's called, this stream of importance, is simply so that the thing doesn't get confused. See, look at this. Ready? I believe it's actually doing the bottom bit. Yeah. Oh, actually, I don't know what it's holding. It wasn't holding both of them, I can tell you that much. I can do the same thing here. Okay, maybe it does need a little bit of working. But anyway, there is a system which makes sure that certain things are prioritized over certain other things. And as I said before, all those glitches with all those bugs are now fixed. Also, the player's speed was adjusted. So that's really it for this update. There wasn't much, but you know, it was only 6 days that, you know, between these last 2 updates, so I wouldn't have expected much. The next update is going to be small as well. The next update, pretty much what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to making an overall a power variable, and so that's going to determine whether or not the power for these things is on or off, and as such it will affect the lights, and it will also affect things like the door's functionality. If the power is off, to put it simply, the player cannot open or close a door because, well, you know, power's off. Similarly, if the power is on, then the lights will turn on and all the doors and stuff will be functional. And that's my main plan. That's what I plan to get done. That's the biggie. And to accompany that will be a power switch. That's the one last function I'd need before I invest in that rope thing. That being said, and I've looked at Vico Dynamics, which is the brand that I'm going for, and they actually do seem to be, you know, they got more than just ropes. They got entire physics dynamics that they're working on. So that being said, I am genuinely impressed with how they're handling everything. So that's the company I'm going for. Anyway, that's all I've got for this update. Sorry, it's a little bit of a letdown, but don't worry. The next update will definitely not be a letdown because it doesn't have optional functions like this one did with the head bobbing and all that. It has actual functions that are demanded, which is the power on and the power switch as well. Though the power switch isn't necessarily a demanded function, but whatever. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next update.